Okay, siphinde futhi sikubingelele sikwamukele ohlelweni lwethu asilungiseni kulesikhathi samanje kumhla ka 22 October 2023 as the time it is 18 minutes after 6 o'clock. Lady Smith the Black Mambazo besasha nje passage to a promise featuring yena ke Lady Smith with Andreas ibona benayo ke nje lapha besimamo ngiyajabula mina. All right, angazi ngaphela uThabo ubukeka busy njengamanje ngoba sesikhathi sokusezothi nje hello sanibonani welcome ke ngikhona ke mina khona umtimandi futhi esinayi la ohlelweni making sure that zonke izinto zihamba kahle kulesi sikhathi samanje bathi abantu ke bafisa ukuthi bamuzwe nayo umtimandi ezibingelela ngelinye insuku nje akathi nje iyona ke lensizwa le eyayisixoshe uma ngabe sekusathi kusamnandi uthi nje kusamnandi nje ifike
kuzoke inxosha yini
awuzixosha bafa
sizofaka iprogram elandelayo sizofaka ubabunana hayi ngoba ngixosha
kusiyami naye
uyaphila ke kodwa
nto kusiyami siyaphila
naye kuhle
siyaphila hayi mfethu hayi ubingelela umlaleli nje kakhulu ngoba noma kubingelela basho ukuthi nosonkinobho lapho yebo
ngithemba ukuthi umlali ngapha ngasekhaya uyaphila hayi cha thina si right ngapha amabhokobhoka winile ama Proteas awinile abadli beke soyicoca kusasa ke yabo
abadliwe
abashayiwe kweso kodwa kwamanje nje umuzwa nje usalapha kumabhokobhoko usalapha kuma Proteas
amabhikibhiki asha ubonile manje nasi niqoka imbala amabhokobhoko bafethu ne chips nizazi siniyashawa ngifuna ukuhlolelane yini mhlolo umuntu leni yenzayo
wekanyo leza enjala ke sibone kusasa please
kusasa
kwamanje ke sibamba umuzwa wamabhokobhoko
ngicela niliyeke kodwa lembala amabhokobhoko seniqala
siye
niyastidisa
kulungile
leave the green color
jama bhokobhoko
yes siphila ngamabhokobhoko manje senza amabhikibhiki sifake ibhadi okay so thank you so much
thank you
all right sabonga kakhulu ke and then kulesikhathi manje sike sasho ukuthi ke sizoba sinaye ke uGuruji namhlanje by the way guys last week Sunday I told you ngantshela nonke it was my honor ngade ngile lapha eReservoir Hills to birthday yakhe ke uGuruji Isn't things fundileke? Well, we talked about that last week. Yes. So we talked about that last week. I'm not going to touch again on that, but I'm just passing on, saying that it was really my honor to be invited and to be part of that wonderful celebration. I've learned a lot on the day. Sadly, we had to go before everything ended because we had to be at the show by 6. But already I had food for the spirit, for the soul, and for the stomach. Most importantly. All right, Tabo is ready now. Let me take this opportunity. Tabo, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. I'm well, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, Sanabo Guruji, His Holiness.
Yes.
And I could in studio, and even the last time when we were in the show with him, it was so wonderful. We've learned a lot, and even now people are still talking about that, raising on topics that we should talk about. Yes.
Yeah, and they've been waiting for the Guru for how many months now? 3 months. Yeah, they've been waiting for the Guru, and the Guru has kept his promise and is there. But it's kumdala usigcinile saphinde sahlangana njengoba sasicelile sathi umdala mayivumile sophinde sihlangane futhi umdala usigcinile ke nakho sikhona namhlanje ake seshila umtimandi ngebhadi ama sports ayangeqa ngizwa ngabantu nje ngibone nawe ekseni nje ngabothi hayi khamba kahle amabhokobhoko khambe kahle otherwise bengazi ukuthi kwenzekeni bengazi ukuthi kwenzekeni kodwa ke siyabonga ukuthi hayi sihamba kahle noma ke kodwa ecishe equlekisa abantu nje njalo nje wona 1 point nanga kulokha
France,
nanga
28,
nakule game le yakwaba ipoint elilodwa abo
France.
hey yazoqulekisa abantu kodwa ke hayi kuhambe kahle siyabonga ziningi ke engathi bezenzekile izolo izinto kodwa kubonakala nangezulu nje jiki ukuthi hayi kuningi bengithi ngizothinta uNdlovukazi kodwa ke hayi khona bengithi ngizomthintela khona yabona sesingena ke konke nje kumachaphishu
Okay.
Kuyaphuthuma kodwa ke isikhathi othi ngisibonga hayi
24 minutes after 6 right now.
sisekhona isikhathi uDimbane sike simxolisele nje kubalaleli ukuthi awazange ukuphumelela namhlanje indoda ehlala ibhizi siyazi ukuthi ukhona akekho amabhizi ke lawa asuke khona abalaleli ngikhumbule ngoba sizongena endabeni ejulile namhlanje sasithembisile ukuthi kulenyanga sizoyibiza igathering esobe siyibizile kodwa ke engathi ke singaconfirm okwamanje umhla ka4 November eDiaconia mhla ka4 November elasobe sikhona zobe zikhona ikhulumeni zethu ikhulume zobe zikhona uzobe khona nje uDr Hlongwane phambili abanye sizobuya isibasho imali ke yokungena lapha izobe i100 kodwa abantu bazongithinta ngoba siqasha ivenue encane asifunanga ukuqasha ihholo lonke leli likhulu sasesithi nje ivenue ngoba sayohlangana okuqala ayingabi inkulu kakhulu siboneke ukuthi abantu bazothini kodwa hayi kuzobe kushubile ngoba sobe sithinta nalezi esingayithinti la emsakazweni lezi sikwesigodle phela ngoba manje kusuke kuphoqa ukuthi sigodle lokhu bese ke kodwa ke lapha ya sizobe siyithinta nje imlando esingakaze siyithinte emsakazweni siphinde futhi sithinte nokwezempilo kodwa abantu bazoyithola imininingwane yonke ngokuhamba kwesonto inamba yami baba nayo bazokwazi ukuthi bayithole sikwazi ukuthi si-communicate kahle beze ukuthi ke kuzobe kwenzeka kanjani ukuze ubhuke isikhathi sekahle bawungithumela nje mhlambe no WhatsApp asho umuntu hayi noma ngingagugile kodwa ngizobe ngikhona kanje just sibe nje emqondweni ngoba iyahlupha lento Facebook kubhuka ivenue ibabalile abantu bangaka abasekufika abantu abaningi kakhulu kunalabo nalento ukuthi abantu kuthiwa bazokhokha eminyango bafika abantu sebebaningi kakhulu ivenue ithe izothatha abantu abangaka manje kuba ngcono ukuthi okungcono kuba ama pre-booking ukuze abantu kwaze ukuthi no ivenue incane izokwanela abantu abangaka masigcwele sisho cha sekugcwele sesingaphinde senze enye mhlambe futhi
okay
ayike now sesingaqala ke manje Queen Rejoice sithi ke recap and greet the guru officially now we were just like touching base and Queen Rejoice has already touched on what happened last week but we explained to our listeners and we gave them a little bit of what happened
reports
at the ashram we gave them a report of what happened at the ashram last week. And we'd like to greet you, His Holiness Guru Ji, and all that are accompanying you today. And we say welcome once again.
Thank you. I want to thank both of you, Thabo and Rejoice, for attending my function. I want to thank your listeners for tuning in, and it gives us, especially the ashram, great honor to be here. This is part of the ashram's mission, oneness and social cohesion. And I think, although this is my second time here, this is a South African first, where Guru will be speaking to an audience that is not Hindu. I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters, and I'm excited, and I'm sure they are excited, so that we can travel this journey of social cohesion, of racial cohesion, of oneness, of political cohesion. And I know in time we will be absolutely friction-free. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Makuru, thank you very much. And we were honored to be part of the guests that were at the ashram last week.
Nice.
But right now, because I know there is a lot that we're going to be talking about today, but we tried to shorten and give our program today a topic that we will be dealing with this topic, which is Kali Yuga. But I would like to just recap, so those listeners that weren't listening the last time will know what we were talking about. But they can still go on YouTube and see the full video. But I remember, you are talking about the Hindu listeners, that this is a crossover program. You are correct when you say it's a fest, because it's a crossover, a meeting of two different cultures. Mm-hmm. And I remember that we questioned this Hinduism, and you explained that what you teach it's Sanatan Dharma. Yeah. So just to remind our listeners that what we know as Hinduism is really Sanatan Dharma. But we got the Guru here. He correct me where I veer off or mispronounced some couple of words. We talked a lot. We talked about the history of India and Africa, what Macaulay did in Africa, what he did in India, how we were colonized, both of us, India and Africa. And what's funny about colonization, I was just going to say that you were colonized in India, we were colonized in Africa, but it seems like we, as Africans, we even lost our identity. I'm looking at you right now. You're still wearing your own Indian clothing. That means that you weren't fully colonized like we. We are still way back. We still have a lot to do. To do. Especially
with the minds.
Yeah. We have a long way to go, because as much as you were colonized, but you kept some of your culture, most of it, in fact, because you still teaching Sanatan Dharma even today. You've got your own that you teach. You've got your own ashrams, schools, if I may say. We don't have that. We don't have schools where we teach our culture, our African culture, whether it's Zulu, Xhosa, Sotho, whatever. That's what's missing from us. So when I say colonialism really hit us hard, I'm not exaggerating, because you can even see. You don't even need to be it's not something we're just talking about. After Macaulay, we even touched on, we talked about karma, where you even taught us that time is cyclic. I remember that as well. We talked about, we live about on breath, how many breaths we take. It's not how many years, but it's how many. It's the breath, which was very interesting. So I'm just reminding most of our listeners what we touched on. We're recapping here, and we touched on diet as well, where we talk. You told us about meat, that humans were not supposed to eat meat, except if it's an emergency. So what I'm doing right now is just recapping on most things, just to refresh the minds of those who were listening, and letting those who didn't listen to the last program know what we talked about the last time. But now, today, the topic is Kali Yuga. You talked about seasons. How many are they? 4?
4 seasons.
4 seasons. And the last one is Kali Yuga. Yeah, so we're touching on the last one. The Christians know it as the last days. They call it the last days. Or some call it the age of Aquarius, the Aquarian age. That we are entering the Aquarian age.
There's another term that they use.
Yeah.
Called Patuzokhumbula.
Yeah.
Talking about the last days. Okay, I'll Khumbula.
Yeah, now it's just I'm just
Khumbula.
okay. We remember it. Yeah. But we are on Kali Yuga today. We want to go in depth in Kali Yuga as what exactly is Kali Yuga. Maybe we will start there and about this season or age. What should we expect? How do we notice that we are in Kali Yuga? Maybe the behavior of the people, or how do we see that we're in this season now, Kali Yuga? What happens in Kali Yuga?
Okay, thank you, Thabo. I think this is the most important subject matter. If we understand the atmosphere in which we are living, then our miseries will release itself from us tenfold. So there are 4 seasons in creation. It's called Satyug. The first season is Satyug, and it is 1.728 million years. The second season is Treta Yuga, and it is 1.296 million years. The third season is Dwapara Yuga. It is 0.864 million years. And this is the last season, Kali Yuga, 0.432 million years.
It's less than a million.
Yeah, it's 432,000 years.
Okay.
Of which 5,000 years has elapsed. So we have 427,000 years remaining in Kali Yuga.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in Satyug, the lifespan of man was 100,000 years. In Treta Yuga, 10,000 years. In Dwapara Yuga, 1,000 years. And the lifespan of man in Kali Yuga should be 100 years.
But we don't even reach that.
Yes. Because we're eating meat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Right.
Then in Satyug, the demonic and the divine lived in 2 separate worlds.
Okay.
In Treta Yuga, the demonic and the divine lived in 2 separate countries.
Okay.
In Dwapara Yuga, the demonic and the divine lived in 2 families. And in Kali Yuga, the demonic and the divine lives in 1 person.
Can you repeat that?
In Kali Yuga, the demonic and the divine lives in 1 person.
In Dwapara Yuga, they lived in
2 families.
And then in
Treta Yuga,
they lived in separate
2 countries. And in Satyug, in 2 separate worlds.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so this will give you an indication of the bipolar and tripolar nature of man.
Okay.
He gets up in the morning, he's in one mood. During the day, in another mood. And at night, another mood. You see a murder committed, and you'll say, I couldn't believe this man could commit.
I was just with him.
I was just with him. He does not have that capacity. It is that he was impelled by the demonic state at the point of murder. When he went to church, he was impelled by the divine state. And when he's having fun and he's passionate and he's attached to materialism, then he's in a mixture of the divine and the demonic.
So there's a war within.
There is a huge war within.
The demonic and the divine.
Yes, so in Kali Yuga,
Yeah.
there will be, divorce will be at its highest, and you can see it. And Jessica and I were just discussing at the ashram. We had service today, and after service, I think whilst we were waiting for transport to the show, we were discussing divorce, and I told her, coincidentally, that's my topic, Kali Yuga, to the show that we are on our way. Unfortunately, I forgot my Bhagavad Purana, where I was going to read a few verses, but you'll have to believe me that it's already predicted in the Vedas that in Kali Yuga, people would know morality, know ethics, will be religious leaders, crooks will be religious leaders, crooks will be presidents, and you can see around the world the character of presidents, of prime ministers, in the majority are people who don't have ethics and morality ingrained in them. They are common people with material influence.
Morally bankrupt.
Morally bankrupt, that's running. And you see, the Vedas predicted correctly. We have 2 state presidents currently, or 1 state president of America was a billionaire. There's a current state president in South Africa who's a billionaire. There is a run-up to presidency in the Republic Party, an Indian in America. He's also a billionaire. So now people are buying their way into government instead of being with the money, whichever way they obtained it. It is money into presidency and not your character and your ability to be a state president. Even it's happening in the churches. It's happening in religious places where people with no morality are running these institutes. So the Vedas has correctly predicted it is there. So when I say the Vedas, I want to make it clear to your listeners that a long time ago, this information that I'm giving you, the Indians do not own this information. The Vedas are scriptures, universal scriptures, which everybody had.
Not just the Indians.
Yeah, it has been retained by the Indians because of the disciplic succession system. So although the Indians in India suffered 1,000 years under foreign rule, it was the Guru system that retained the knowledge of the Vedas and passed it from Guru to disciple. Then one of the disciples become a Guru. Then he passes it on to his disciple. And that is the only reason that we are custodians of the Vedas. The Vedas do not belong to Indians. The Vedas belong to all of humanity. So the West, they came to Africa and they gave you the Bible and took your land. You know that story, all right?
Yes.
And that information that was in the Vedas was all over the world. because I think one of the other questions that Thabo sent me was the linga. All right? And you'll find the linga in every part of the world. It is part of the Vedas, and you'll also find it in every continent. A linga has been found right around the world. So the linga do not belong to India. It belongs to the world.
To the world. And
The Veda, the linga is one of the personifications of the Vedas.
All right.
So it belongs to the world. The Vedas belong to the world. I am not converting. There's no such thing as Hinduism. As I've stated earlier.
The last time when we...
Yes, we said Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means eternal way of life. And
It's a way of life.
It's a way
of life. Eternal way of life belongs to all of humanity, plants, animals, trees. It belongs to everything that's in this universe. However, it is currently being expounded by Indians from India, but I want to also make a distinction. So if I am teaching geometry, and if a German is teaching geometry, the subject matter geometry does not belong to either me or to the German. It belongs to a subject called mathematics. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I am teaching German, if I am teaching mathematics in Sanatan Dharmi, I'll teach it through my culture. I'll be dressed in my culture, but the subject will be absolutely mathematics only. And a German will come through his culture, his dressing, but his culture will not own the subject matter, mathematics. So similarly, the Vedas is only being taught through my culture. It's not owned by my culture. It belongs to the whole world. And it is my mission to the Western world to promote the Vedas and give every human being its rights over the Vedas.
Okay.
So this Vedas and these teachings, and I hope between you and Thabo, you can bring me here as often as possible, so that in my lifetime I can distribute this knowledge through this station, through my brothers and sisters who do not understand. So I want to emphasize again, and I will always be emphasizing, that the Vedas is your birthright.
Yeah.
The Vedas is your birthright. Don't look at my culture. I'm not owning the Vedas. I'm here to remind you that the Vedas is your birthright. And I want to qualify this. I want to qualify this. So in the region of my heart is situated the real me, which is the soul. This body is just a robotic mechanism which the soul is using for the purposes of living the human life. But the real me is in this region of the heart. So if you and I were to leave our bodies together, same day, same time, same place, and if there was a seer who could see the soul, he won't be able to identify us after we have left our body, because you are equal to me and I am equal to you. We are both identical sparks. We are only differentiated in this robotic, this body that we are wearing. So your body identifies you as an African.
Yes.
My body identifies me as an Indian. And this is only a temporary status of you and I.
Yeah.
Our eternal status,
exactly the same.
We are exactly the same. So if knowledge was to be given to the soul, then the knowledge has to be identical to both souls.
Yeah.
This knowledge that I am expounding today at this moment is computed in my soul. It's coming from my soul through my vocal mechanism,
Yes.
and it's reaching you through this apparatus that's here. When you become self-realized, this same knowledge is inherent in your soul. God computed identical knowledge in every soul.
That's powerful. That's interesting.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying the Vedas is your birthright. Because it is there, it's computed in your soul. The only reason I know it because I went through a process of self-realization.
Okay.
Self-realization means you divorce yourself from this physical body and you take an inward journey. And when you reach, we have 5 bodies in fact. All right, we have the causal body, the intellectual body, the mental body, the pranic body, and the gross body that you can see.
So
Like
this one is the gross body.
like an onion. You know,
Yes,
when you
yes.
When you bring the onion there,
Yes.
can you repeat the? I'm not sure if the stages or
Okay.
the body types.
Okay, so right at the outset, you have the spiritual soul.
Spiritual soul.
Covering the spiritual soul is the causal body.
The causal body. All right.
Covering the causal body is the intellectual body.
All right.
Covering the intellectual body is the mental body.
The mental body.
And covering the mental body
mental
is
body.
the pranic body, the body that gives us shape.
Okay.
And covering the pranic body is this
The
gross
gross.
body that you see.
Okay. All right.
All right, so we have the gross body, the subtle body, and the spiritual body. If
Okay.
I add the intellectual and
Okay.
mental body together.
All right. Wow. Okay.
So you have the same covering. I have the
same covering.
Our 4
Right.
coverings are the same. It's only the 5th covering that is different. So I'm just going to be a little bit crude. If you and I are skinned,
Right.
nobody will be able to state that you are an African and I am an Indian. So once you remove the gross body,
Everything else is the same.
everything else is the same. So why shouldn't the information that I receive through self-realization be different from the information that you receive in self-realization if we have one creator?
Yeah.
It's powerful. So what you say, the Vedas, in fact, we are like a car with a flat battery that needs a push. And then the Vedas would kickstart us back because we have forgotten. But
Yes.
it's in our DNA.
Yes.
It's
So
encoded somewhere there.
it's in your spiritual DNA. We have
Yeah.
2 DNAs. We have a material DNA and we have a spiritual
Spiritual
DNA. Our spiritual DNA is identical.
Okay.
It's only our material DNA that we are different.
So what means these people who are running the world, these evil ones, they're making sure that we don't wake up and find out who we are.
Yes. And that is why they're dividing us. So they are doing their job because we in Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, 25% of the people will be righteous,
All right.
75% will be unrighteous. So for every one righteous person, there's 3 unrighteous persons that attacking him
Sure.
or her. And it will remain like this until this 427 years have passed. But God also gave us that independence to intervene.
Okay.
And me being here today is an intervention. I don't know how many people listen or will be listening to this program or what your listenership is, but we are captivating their understanding today. Not all of them, but many of them will now start looking at themselves.
Yes.
They need to do self-analysis.
Right.
And this is where self-realization comes in. So although we are constituted to be 75% in ignorance, if myself, you and Thabo are serious in social cohesion, in oneness, in putting God first, we can change that dynamics. It don't have to be 75%. It is a formula that is given for this time period, but we can go and we can change it to Dwapara Yuga, we can change it to Treta Yuga. We can intervene like what we're doing today, and let not the people be, or let them not remain constituted to be 75% in the darkness.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. Which means that once you, I'm not sure which once you realize, or self-realization, is that how you called it?
Yes.
Then it's my duty to then teach others.
Yes.
They should come, because it's the truth, or the true meaning of oneself, of humankind. Everyone deserves to know exactly in what stage that we're living in, what is happening right now, and most importantly, who we are as human beings.
Yes, and I explained this today in my discourse. I said the food for the soul is the absolute truth. So as long as you continue to live in the truth, your soul is being fed. So as we are seated in a radio program today, and I am propagating the truth,
yes,
there is 75% of news outlets around the world, or even more, that's propagating false propaganda. And that's where majority of our people are stuck. They are stuck because they don't have the ability to differentiate between right and wrong. And this is why I entered now the radio domain. I entered both on the Indian side. I've been on 2 radio shows, you notice, because wherever the demonic forces are, the guru want to be there.
Use the same tool.
The guru want to be there. So 5,000 years ago, there is an epic called the Mahabharata.
Can you repeat that?
Mahabharata.
Mahabharata. Okay.
And in this epic, the Supreme Lord incarnated to teach us how to navigate through Kali Yuga. So the tools are there already.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And his name in Sanskrit is called Krishna. But the meaning of his name from Sanskrit to English means all attractive. So don't you think the Supreme God should be all attractive? So if I'm referring to Krishna, I rather refer to him from here on as all attractive. So he can be equally accepted, because Krishna sounds like an Indian name. You understand?
Yes.
So we'll use God when he incarnated 5,000 years ago. So let's just understand God.
Okay.
If God created an infinite amount of souls in a material universe, will he hide somewhere in the sky, or will he come down to his people timelessly and try to set them straight in the creation that he has created? You think he would want you to close your eyes and look up? Would your mother would want to do that, give birth to you, and then go duck somewhere where you don't know how she looks, what she looks like? Or would your mother, after giving birth to you, would want an association with you.
You are reminding me of
Yeah.
what Shembe, the second Shembe, said. Lord J.G. Shembe, he said, what's the use of a God who is living in the sky? For what good purpose does he serve? Humanity. Because he's hiding up there.
Why and why would we be his children? Why would we deserve to be his children of a father who is mysterious,
hiding.
who's hiding? So when we say that the all-attractive Supreme Lord was here 5,000 years ago,
All right.
we must also prove it scientifically.
Okay.
Because the human mind does not want to accept what it has been brainwashed into accepting for so many cycles of lifetimes. All right?
All right. Okay.
So whenever you want to stop me, you can stop me and then I'll continue. I know you run in a program.
All right.
We just seconds until it's 7 o'clock. We have to go for a break.
For a break now, yes.
All
Thank you so much.
We'll continue.
It's getting very, very interesting. I have my notes in here, and I'm sure that maybe a listener can even have some questions regarding our topic today. Thabo, the word that I was looking for was eschatology. Which I'm not sure if it's the same thing or a different thing, because in Christianity they're talking more about eschatology. I'm not sure. Okay, Thabo is shaking his head like, no, two different things. Okay, thank you so much, Thabo. Namhlanje we are talking about the Kali Yuga, the last days. We have the Guruji in studio tonight. Sizoba naye kuze kushayeke u9 nje namhlanje after 8 o'clock. So sisithatha ke ama comments wakho lapha on our Facebook page and under 88.4 FM, which is you can be part of the show by ukuthi ungene nje khona lapha nase groupini asilungisene, as well as on WhatsApp. The number is 068 7649969 usuzwile ukuthi masikhuluma ngekhathi zokugcina sikhuluma kanjani. Well, sizokunpekhela mangabe sesibuya ngale kwa 7 o'clock. It's just 1 minute after 7.
Nanda 88.4 FM. When we return, more of the music you love.
All right, umsakazi Nanda 88.5 FM. Uhlelo asilungiseni isikhathi sithi 8 minutes after 7 o'clock umhla ka-22 ngena ku-September 2023, and the song is qeda. Okay, Jeff Maduleke sinje Kilimanjaro. Queen Rejoice, I'm your host. Khona kuThabo Sambothi samsana naye namhlanje ke kanti sambeli sethu sosuku khona lana ohlelweni. We have Guruji khona lapha ku Ashram ekhona Reservoir Hills. I was there last week Sunday. And go there again. We're still going to have more programs. One thing that I love about Guruji, and one thing that I've learned, I've just told Thabo that in spite of everything else that we're learning, this oneness program, that we should all come together and reason together and learn the truth, despite of what the West has tried to separate us. Because as Guruji has just mentioned, has just told us that in fact, we are the same. We are all the same. So la ukhona nawe khona lakho lento ukuthi masibambane sifike, and noma kuthiwa ubani, noma kuthiwa umKristu, noma kuthiwa uNazaretha, Islamic konke akufike abakhonza khona ngazi bakubiza kwesintu ke kuningi ke abanye bakubiza Africa khona bawoke khona banjani, but let's come and reason together sizothola iqiniso, the truth. It what matters, especially in this time is Pilaxon. And one thing I love about everybody else is that we agree on one thing. Number one, we do agree on the Supreme Lord, that we have one God. Two, we do agree that we are living in the last days, the Kali Yuga. We all agree in that. So why should we be different? And why it's not easy and come reason together? Okay, once again, we're back. Welcome back, Guruji. You talked about very interesting things. And before we go to the break, you were just mentioning Krishna. And you said, I'm not sure if I've heard you clearly, if you said the Supreme Lord reincarnated. Did I hear that correctly, ne?
Yes.
How did that happen? If you can just clarify, because I had in my mind, I had a question that how if the Supreme Lord came and reincarnated as Krishna? Okay. Yes.
So the Supreme Lord lives in his own spiritual abode, in Sanskrit called Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means a place of no anxiety.
Okay.
So it would mean that it will be a place of absolute bliss, and that is where the Supreme Lord resides all the time. When there is a decline in righteousness, when the demonic forces start overpowering the divine forces, then the Lord takes his birth amongst man in a similar body like man's, but with a transcendental body. So he won't have these 5 bodies that I mentioned. His entire body will be made of the soul force, but he will look like an ordinary man. He will live like an ordinary man, and he'll teach righteousness. So 5,000 years ago, there came a point when the divine forces were being crushed by the non-divine forces, then the Lord took his birth.
Okay. Oh, all right. Now I understand. Maybe that's the topic for another day, just to go deeper on that, because now I'm having questions in my head. How is Krishna differs to what we know is Jesus? Because I've grown with the Christianity. Oh, is it the same person that we're talking about? How the giving birth was the man and the woman? I'm having questions, but let's come back for now.
Okay, whilst you have your question, just to pacify some of your questions, there are over 40 similarities in the birth of Lord Jesus Christ and Lord Krishna.
Yes.
So we'll take it on another topic where we will show the parallels. So I want you to understand it as parallels. Otherwise, we're going to cause corruption in this world of ours.
All right. Let's come back to Kali Yuga. We all agree that we are living in the last days as humankind, as human beings. That is so common. Now, you've stated that in Kali Yuga, the demonic and the divine, now they can live in the same person.
In the same person.
You've mentioned an example, bipolar, and beside the bipolar, there are a lot of other mental illnesses and
multipolar.
Diseases that I hear. Some people are very angry. We have now anger management, and in Ubuntu, Ubuntu, what is Ubuntu? Humanity. Most people, they seem to lost what we call humanity. It's so easy to do a bad thing to another person. It's so easy to hold grudges. It's so easy to hate another human being. Is that the cause of the demonic living in the same body as with divine?
Yes. And the underlying factor, the substratum of this entire universe will be karma.
Okay.
So karma will dictate in every individual the behavior of that particular individual. So it is predestined. It comes from another lifetime. How you behave in this lifetime will determine your human body the next lifetime and all your relations on the next lifetime. So that I am Indian is because of my karma. That you are black is because of your karma. That you are white is because there's a perfect management system. If God can create this one universe look at the stars, look at the planetary system, look at everything in this universe. If any of the planets revolve in a time scale of -1 second, then this entire system will collapse. Mathematically, everything in this planet is absolute. So similarly, for every living entity and every human being, your creation have to be absolute. You sitting there today, Queen, and you interviewing me as the Guru is your destiny. When you was born, this was already computed in your causal body that on this date and this time you will be interviewing a Guru. Nothing is a coincidence. Coincidence is a valueless word. Everything is God incident.
Yeah.
Whether it is good or whether it is bad, it depends on your karma, it depends on your merit. But God controls everything. And I just want to give clarity. So I've stated within the region of my heart, the real me, the soul, resides. And inside the soul resides the Supreme Lord.
All right.
So the Supreme Lord lives externally in Vaikuntha and lives internally in your soul. Whilst living in your soul, he drives this body through its destination perfectly, which means that whatever is programmed in your causal body as karma for this lifetime is driven personally by the Supreme Lord himself.
So he is in control of everything in everyone's life.
Yes. And all we need to do is just look up to him. This is our problem. We're looking for God in all the wrong places.
Ish.
When he's living right inside our inner being. He lives inside our soul.
That's powerful. Now you talked of the tools that we were given, the tools of how to live in this Kali Yuga age or stage or times. Now, if maybe we can just dwell on the tools so that I'll know that I'm in the right path, because I don't want to end up doing the wrong things, especially in these times.
Okay, Queen, but before I go there, I just want to complete that aspect before we went into break. When I said that we must evidentially prove that Lord Krishna was around.
Yes,
okay?
yes. Let's go there.
So about 15 years ago, the Indian government sent divers at a outside its coastline, city of Dwarika. So the divers went deep and they found the exact city as it was described in the Mahabharata. And when Lord Shri Krishna left, he submerged that city. So in the Mahabharata, it is stated that Lord Shri Krishna submerged the city of Dwarika before he left and went back to Vaikuntha. And then about 15 or 20 years ago, these divers have a name. You're going to find it later, but I'm not too familiar with the name. So they went down and they found artifacts which they brought up and carbon dated, and those artifacts are more than 10,000 years. So Lord Shri Krishna was here 5,000 years ago. He submerged the city of Dwarika. It is existent today. So it is 100% that the Mahabharata took place and the Supreme Lord was here 5,000 years ago. This cannot be questioned Because whatever was stated in the Mahabharata was written 5,000 years ago, and it was found recently by the Indian government. So all of these truths are there. Sorry, did I say 15? I think 15 to 20 years ago this was found. All right.
Okay.
You can just Google it and cross-check and fact-find. So this is the confidence that our humanity must have.
All right.
That yes, 5,000 years ago, God did come down to earth. He did leave a message, and this message was not for Indians of India. It was for humanity, and his message is in 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita. So, just for your listeners again, before I go further, I had 2 high-profile Christian individuals that came to my ashram, both of them white, and they wanted to be converted to Hinduism.
Okay.
There is no such thing. You can't be converted. You're already a Sanatan Dharmi.
All right.
You can't be converted. So I told them that if you are in a church, go and re-engage with your pastor. If that pastor is not good enough, go and find another church, but retain your Christian identity. Okay?
Yeah.
Both white, they both gone back. I think both the problems have been solved. So I injected spirituality into them because Sanatan Dharma is a science, and I send them back to the religion. So I'm not here to convert your listeners now into a religion, but I'm converting their mindset into a scientific way of living.
You are reminding.
I'm reminding.
Tapping into this DNA.
I'm tapping, yes.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, now it's clearly, and with I think it's not going to be much a problem, Matabo, with Aslungseni listener, to what Guru just said right now, because these are 2 different aspects. Now we know that the religion is religion on its own, and being part of the organization, maybe the Christian organization, is different from the truth. That is clear, and especially you are stating that it's scientific, the truth that we are speaking about. So it's not that Guruji is here to convert you. No, but it's the truth that is here and clear, and was here years and thousands of years ago, just reminding you as a person or as a human being who you are. I love the fact that we are all equal, we are all the same within. It's just this this last layer, the gross the gross body that we are differ to, but everything else inside us, it's exactly the same. Whether Indian, whether black, whether any other race, whether any other religion that you choose, we are all the same. All right then, now let's come back with the tools now of living in these times, in this age, in this era.
Okay, so if you're a Christian,
you're right.
Don't be a Sunday Christian.
Right.
Be an everyday Christian.
Everyday Christian, not just a Sunday Christian.
Follow. The best example are Muslims. Try and follow their system of praying because they do it the best. They pray 5 times a day, every day for the rest of their lives. So if you're a Christian, remember the righteousness of the Bible every day. not only on Sundays. That's the tool that's going to protect you from Kali Yuga. The only thing that the demon is afraid of is your association with the Supreme Lord. There is no other insurance. If you ignite the Supreme Lord within you, then you converse with the Supreme Lord all the time. He's the witness. He's witnessing all your actions. And if you can refrain and conform, He's watching you. And that is the most important tool. Serve the Supreme Lord. And you can only serve the Supreme Lord, Queen, not directly because He has everything. By serving His humanity, like what we are doing here today. We seated here today and we broadcasting to your listeners and we serving the Lord. Other people will serve the Lord with hot meals or serve the humanity with groceries, with meals. Our capacity, the tools God has given us to serve humanity is this radio program. And if you serve the Lord through humanity, then your insurance in Kali Yuga, you won't feel this is Kali Yuga. And I'll give you an example. Winter is equal to everyone in South Africa, yes?
True.
But those that have heaters will never feel winter.
Yeah.
Summer is equal to everyone in South Africa, but those who have air conditioners will never feel summer. Your air conditioner and your heater is the Supreme Lord. And if you have the Supreme Lord by your side, you won't feel Satyug, you won't feel Treta Yuga, you won't feel Dwapara Yuga, and definitely you won't feel
Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga.
Right. So, Iba, no Supreme Lord by your side. And I like the fact that Uti Guru serve humanity like we are doing. You can just see from where you are, there is something that you can do to other, like humanity, Ubuntu. That's what we call it. So that is just one word or things that you have to do in order to say, I am serving you. And the most important fact that you've mentioned is by praying. We can just copy, and again, we're not saying that people should be Muslims, but let's just copy how they pray 5 times a day, every day. Tabo Amanazareta, Ushambe, do you pray like 5 times a day? I know that you have Vuganati. I'm not sure if there are other stages of prayer every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested.
Got three
per day.
Main
prayers. Okay.
Yeah. But
right.
all in all, there are 5.
There are 5.
Yeah, but there are 3 main prayers. But I've been sitting in this class and listening attentively to our guru here. Yeah, I like what you're saying when you say it's in serving humanity. But something I find that Indians mostly do is also like, I want to know the importance of protecting nature. You know, you find Indians, wherever you find them, even here in Ananda, I could tell you this house. This house, and this was an Indian house. This was an Indian's house, although there are Africans living now. Simply by just identifying by the mango trees, the lemons, and whatever they plant, wherever they are, they will plant these trees in their yards, which are mostly fruit trees, avocados, whatever. Most of us, we buy a plot, we cut down trees. Hey, these trees are going to bring snakes to the yard. The other nations, they plant trees. the importance of protecting nature, whether it's animals or plants, or the importance of planting trees.
Okay, so firstly, Ubuntu.
Yeah.
One word, synonymous with the Vedas. So, if in the Vedas I find humanity, it's there throughout. And Ubuntu is that same instruction. There's no difference. And the underlying, the substratum of the Vedas is Ubuntu. Okay? So this is why I'm saying we need to break these fabricated barriers where we were made separate. In South Africa, specifically, the apartheid system broke us down and separated us. But you'll see there's a natural love between all the races. When you put them in a room, and I've tested this at the ashram on many occasions, that love is natural.
Yeah.
And that love that exudes naturally is the love of God.
The problem is the system.
Yeah, the problem is the system. So today there was a heavy rain. During my service there was a heavy rain. But I said no matter how heavy the rain is, I am going to be at this station today.
Yeah.
Because nothing must impede my attempt to bring us together.
Yeah.
And that's humanity. That's Ubuntu. The crown, Ubuntu, must be worn by every human being. So look, as much as you say you've been robbed and raped by the Western and the colonizers, Ubuntu could not be taken out of an African.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it is a soul force. It is not on the gross side. It is in the spiritual side. And nobody can rob your spirituality. No matter how they can suppress you, how they violate you, how they transgress you materially, the retention of your spirituality will always be secured by the Supreme Lord.
Hey, Thabo.
I think they know that they failed there in suppressing Ubuntu. That's why they flood us with all this entertainment to keep us busy with things that are useless.
That are useless to
that's
us.
why so many taverns, you find sports, programs on TV. So people are just occupied by useless things because now they have to. They shouldn't realize who they are. They shouldn't realize all these things that you are talking about. Our biggest enemy, or the tools that the devil is using now, things like social media.
Social media is the worst.
Yeah. I think it's good now that we're also using the same tool.
The same tool.
What we are doing now, we are recording live,
On
putting
social
on the
media.
Yes. And I am not afraid to fight the demons on social media. If you find me, Thabo, you'll see I'm in a big fight. I'm tackling, and they are tackling us we are tackling them. But ultimately we are going to win.
Yeah.
We must win, because on our side we are fully confident of the Supreme Lord. And nobody can shake our confidence. So it is right, it is part of my program, social media, to get into there and eke out all these demonic forces. One day, all the social media platforms will be promoting righteousness.
Yes.
If not in my lifetime, I'm planting the seed.
Okay. Guruji, it's always an honor of having you in studio. I'm learning so much already. Now, as we are in this the Kali Yuga stages, the question is, once, because we are left with, I'm not sure, but you said about 400,000 years. Once that is over, what's going to happen? That's the times that it's going to start all over again, or is there another era that is coming up that we have no clue about at the time?
Okay, Queen. So let me use you.
Yeah.
If you want to come back, or if you want to leave this material universe, the choice is yours. If you get into self-realization, which leads you to God realization, then this will be your last material birth.
Oh.
So when you close your eyes, you immediately go into the domain of the Lord. And you live with Him in absolute bliss for the rest of your eternal life. Remember, life here is temporary.
Yes.
But life with the Supreme Lord or our soul is eternal.
Okay.
Okay, for those that do not have merits yet, because everything is karma based and the material universes have to exist. After 427,000 years, the incarnation of the Supreme Lord called Kalki, Kalki.
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 Okay.
All right? His parents are already documented. He's already around in a spiritual form. He will come and end Kali Yuga.
Okay.
Then we'll get into Sat Yuga again.
Oh, okay.
And this happens cyclically. Up until 155 trillion 40 billion years have elapsed, then this creation will go into rest.
Okay.
It will go into rest for 311 trillion 40 billion years, and after that it will start all over again.
Oh, okay. So, oh, wow, all right. So it's
our mission is to keep on striving for righteousness.
For righteousness, yes.
All the time.
And whilst we're doing that, those that evolve spiritually, this is their last lifetime. As a material person.
As a material person.
The soul, when it leaves, it lands in the domain of the Supreme Lord.
Because there's no reason now to come back.
Because your karmas are
done.
So although karmas are beginningless, they have an expiry date, and that expiry date is dependent on you. Whether you want to expire it in this lifetime or you want to enjoy the sensual luxuries of this material universe, it's entirely, you have this independent choice all the time in every lifetime.
Okay. Very interesting.
So when the karma expires, you don't come back.
There's no reason to be here because this material universe is based on karma.
This is why that means all the prophets, all the gurus, they are here to teach us that. So
Yes. And the relationship between all the gurus, all the prophets, all the saints is eternal. So when I take my birth timelessly, all my disciples take their birth with me. Then they come through to the system. And disciples are not only righteous. Disciples are both unrighteous and righteous. So the righteous disciples will stick around. The unrighteous disciples will stick around for a while. And in order to leave, they will become a problem. They'll become demonic and they'll leave. So they'll attack me. I expect 75% of all my disciples that enter the ashram to leave because that's what their merits allow. So some will come as a righteous disciple and some will come as a demonic disciple. But they all belong to me. And that evolution continues until the demonic become righteous. and then live through the system.
I wish pastors had this mentality or knew this.
That is what in my thoughts.
They wouldn't worry
That's
so
what in my
much
thought, about
people leaving.
keeping your church, large numbers.
Yeah.
Then they worry if ever. Now you hear the lessons you've taught me, and then as a pastor, now I have to go and continue with what you've taught me to some other community. Then most in Christianity is a fight, There are also other names that we used to call others that they feel now that they've maybe they've learned enough that then they can go and teach other or continue with the gospel of truth to other human beings.
Maybe the problem is because the church is run like a business now.
It's so.
Yeah, the people are more like customers than
just
than
I'm
people
preaching,
who need their souls to be saved.
Yeah, my advice would be for Africans to go back to their culture.
Okay.
And the truth is in there.
The truth is in there.
In their culture, whatever we did traditionally before the Bible came around, go and find that truth.
Which was the way of life.
Which was the way of life. And then you'll find that the question you put to me, there's mango trees, apple trees, all of that is in African culture. We all live the same. And I'm going to give you some evidence. Quickly, I don't know, the time is behind me.
Don't worry. We still have time.
The San community, I met a prince and he found some documents.
Yes.
And when I looked at the documents, I found they worship exactly the same Supreme God and his cosmic administrators that we worship. Can you believe it? And that's information from 20,000 to 200,000. Then when we went further, we found that the same San community traveled from Africa to India.
I was about to say that when you say Africans must go back to their culture, I wouldn't be surprised if we find ourselves in the Vedas.
This is what I said right at the beginning.
Ubuntu and the Vedas,
it's the same
thing.
It's the same.
So it's imperative that we read the Vedas. We must know.
Yes, and this is why I've asked you, whenever you have a slot for me, I am alive. You don't have to go on Google.
Yeah.
And your listeners can contact and we can fight. Not everything I'm saying is palatable. Some people will be upset that there's a guru coming and trying to change our mindset and our ways of life. So it's a process. This engagement is a process.
All right.
So I've been nominated by God for oneness.
Right.
And in South Africa, y'all are radio personalities, that the oneness program that I am running is the most actuated. There is no other oneness program in this country. Thabo, you know that. You understand, you can affirm. Because those are window-dressed oneness for newspapers and for some NGOs and for some religious organizations to show we are one. In my oneness program, we are living oneness. And this is why you enjoyed last week.
Yes.
Why Thabo and I have connected. Thabo and I connected spiritually.
Right.
He didn't have words, and I think right up till today, he cannot describe with words our connection.
Yes.
Because God has a plan, and you are part of the plan. Thabo is part of the plan. I am part of this plan. This oneness is the real thing. And we can take it to levels unfathomable by those that look at us differently. And you can only do it practically. I can't do this from Radio Lotus. You understand? Then it's a window dressing.
Yeah.
I have to come into this domain.
All right.
And I have to unleash atomic bombs on untruths so that we can start this revolution. Oneness must be a revolution. Wherever we meet in the street, we must hug, we must shake hands, and we must look at each other as one.
Yeah.
And this is the reason I'm seated here in your studio today.
Yes.
To boot out that slave mentality.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
To boot out the slave mentality. An African is equal to an Indian, is equal to a colored, is equal to a white. There is not even one iota of difference. And this is what our programs, whenever we meet, we should inject into our country. We start first here in Durban, and then we take it to our province, and eventually we take it to our country, but our main goal will be Africa. I hope in my lifetime I can conclude. I'm an African, and this is where God placed me. God does not make mistakes. There's millions of ashrams in India. If God wanted me to do my work in India, He would have placed me there.
While I'm listening to you, the problem is not the people per se. It's the system that was put into... it's a program, because even apartheid, it's a system. It's there to divide people. All we need to do is identify this divisive system and know how to beat it. Because once we break down the system, we are all the same. But it's just this system in between that tells that, no, you're better than this one. And some people are still stuck in the system. We crumble the system, everything will be fine.
Well, the only people that can really crumble the system is not politicians, it's religious leaders. Because this system...
There you go.
Yes, the religious leaders are running the system. So if we get together like this, we continue affiliating, we make our oneness program bigger and better and bigger and better. We can start in Inanda. Inanda has an interfaith. I have somebody on my WhatsApp from the Inanda interfaith. If I can start coming to his programs, we need to be seen in church, in mosque. We need to physically enter these places of worship and give our little message.
You know, and preach the truth. Thabo. And in everything that we are learning today, I'm finding out the truth of the true self, true identity. I think that's the key is in order to live righteous life in this Kali Yuga, in these last days. Once you find the true self. As an African, I believe that you'll be able to be in line with the Supreme Lord, and there's a certain term that you've called the guru, true identity of yourself. And once you become realization, that automatically the truth, because it's engraved in your soul, it's in there, and all the other demonic aspect will be too quickly to be. What can I say, Thabo? Eliminated. And then automatically righteousness will become part of your life. That's what I believe. So the truth is that we have to go back to the way of life. And if you study the religions like Muslim, like Nazareta, Shembe, those are the religions that I know that they can, if you study them correctly, you know, you find that, this is the way of life. In fact, this is the way of life more than the religion that we are taught. Ne? Like how you're supposed to live as a person, what type of food that you're supposed to eat, the things that we call amasi or tabo. It's just that right now the system have there's now a confusion of we call them guru amasigo and then the norms, but the way of life as a person, the cleanliness, to be clean, everything in line. Once we're able to go back there, then I don't see anything else that can stop us from finding out the true identity of ourselves.
And God is waiting for you.
God is waiting. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, sasa safunda namhlanje. The Guru, now I'm worried, as much as it's not part of the program, but I'm worried as there are other ashrams as well as in South Africa as well, and your teachings are different. Are much more different than what we normally had, So I'm curious of finding out how in the community of what I knew as Hinduism, how are they receiving you?
Well,
I'm just curious.
Deliberately, I did not associate myself with anyone. Mm-hmm. I have a mission, and this mission won't be user-friendly with a whole lot of people.
Okay. Yeah.
All right? God has given different gurus different missions, and my mission is to bring the world together.
Right.
All the races, all the religions, all the politicians, civil society, and show them that we can coexist. So my job is to skin humanity.
All right.
And let them see they are the same. So I'm not going to be liked by everybody because I'm putting you in a big pot of boiling water
Yes.
and I'm removing that skin.
Yes.
Then I'm placing you there and I'm doing it to the next person and I'm placing it next to the next person and you've seen that every body, even the body is the same. All the organs are the same. Everything is the same. It's just this outer skin. And then I don't think people like to be skinned. Even those Sanatan Dharmis, my brothers, but nobody is troubling me from the spiritual side because I'm speaking the absolute truth.
Yeah.
In the Rig Veda, the very, 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 very first scripture on this earth, it states that we are one diverse family. There's a Vedic injunction, there's a law that humanity is one diverse family. So it's there since inception, and that is all I am doing. I'm promoting that diversity, oneness in unity.
Oh, okay. We're so lucky, Tabo. I thank you.
Because we almost reaching 8 o'clock now, and I know our listeners have a lot to say. When you said there's good and evil within us at this season or this age, should we strive to get rid of the evil, or we should seek the balance?
No, my instructions would be go to religious institutions, and by going to religious institutions, they have a natural jig. And as you continue going into these religious washing machines, and this jig will clean you up completely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. We are only left with 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, as the time is 22nd of October 2023. Ulalela umsakazo inanda 88.4 FM with Queen Rejoice Khona Samboti, and tonight we are honored by Guruji. Kama lapha no ashram khona la eThekwini lapha ke Reservoir Hills la qhamuka khona, and then namhlanje besikhuluma ke ngosihloko khali yok sithi the last days, nathi sesikhola abazaba ebasha omama base siphele ekhathini zokugcina, which means that we are living in the last days. That's what they used to say. So we all agree in that thing, and we can all agree if you can see how humanity is in these days. And Guruji has mentioned that with the stages of Pila, especially with the Satyug. Satyug, Guruji, was that the times where the dinosaurs lived?
Yes.
And Satyug.
Yes, so there's evidence of Satyug as well. That is why these creatures were so huge, because man lived for 1,000 years and he was very, very huge. He was gigantic.
Okay. Oh, right. Only in Satyug, in Treta and Dwapara.
They kept dropping.
They kept
proportionally.
dropping.
We are the smallest.
Oh, okay.
We are the smallest creatures in Kali Yuga. We are shrunk.
And even with the years that we live on
we
Earth.
shrunk. And even our memory, our brains, everything is diminished in Kali Yuga.
Okay, I see.
And there's evidence of all that.
Whatever I'm saying, there is evidence.
These giant footprints.
Yes, everything is
all
there.
over.
Yeah, so in the different yugas, our size was proportionately different to our ages.
Okay, all right, I see. All right, very, very, very interesting. Mlaleli-ke, I'm ngimema wena to be part of the show. Con WhatsApp if you have any questions or any comments. The WhatsApp number is 068 7649969 068-764-9969. That's our WhatsApp line that you can send your comment, or you can even make a VN, a voice note. Please, when making a voice note, ingela wehlise umsakazo at the background so that umsindo ungekuzuphazamise here in studio masasidlala VN yakho. And then on Facebook page Nanda 88.4 FM, as well as on our Facebook group it's nje asilungiseni. There's also a Facebook live that is there on Facebook. Ungakhona ukusulandele wona live lokhona ku Facebook. Apparently it's like website angano mina ukuphazamiseka yini mhlawumbe kwabathize due to network, I'm not too sure, but kodwa ke ngenhlanhla ke sinawo ke live okhona njengamanje, which is ungakhona ukuthi ufake i-comment yakho khona lapho sisanaye ke in studio Guruji nezambeli ezikhona ke njengamanje, as we are talking about the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga.
Before we go to the comments, my guru, a lot of people, while we talk about this, they might say, you see now they're bringing this Hindu what into the into the black community. Hindus have many gods. How many gods do Hindus have?
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one Supreme Lord, and that Lord is stated in the very first scripture, the Rig Veda. So, quickly, I just want to explain. The state president of South Africa will be absolutely useless if he doesn't have a deputy president, if he doesn't have a working committee, doesn't have a NEC, doesn't have ministers, doesn't have premiers, and doesn't have councillors. Him sitting alone there, he won't be able to rule this country. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, although different from the president, but for the maintenance of this universe, he has 330 million cosmic administrators.
All right.
He has
Cosmic
a working
administrators.
Yes. He has a working committee. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. These are Sanskrit words. Brahma,
Vishnu,
and Shiva. Shiva means all auspicious. Brahma is the creator, and Vishnu means all pervading.
Okay.
So the Supreme Lord creates initially the material universe. The secondary creator of the material universe is Brahma. Then Lord Vishnu maintains it, and at dissolution, Lord Shiva destroys it. So that's the working committee. Beneath the working committee, there's this administrator called Indra, and he's the head of administration, and under him are all these cosmic administrators. So I'm teaching you, don't go to the counselor. The counselor only has mandate to give you so much. Don't go to the premier. Premier has mandate to give you so much. Go to the Supreme Lord. He can fulfill all whatever you need. So this is a category of the universe, and Sanatan Dharmis should be worshipping one Supreme Lord. But through colonization, some worship the councillors, some are worshipping the premiers, some are worshipping differently. This is why you see
now different gods.
Yes,
now.
But there's one creator God, and the rest are cosmic administrators.
Oh wow, thank you so much, Guru. All right, so we are now 1 minute after 8 o'clock. Starta i-break ke siyabuya ke, coming back with your comments. Ungafaka njalo ke so ungeke uzusale ngaphandle on WhatsApp 0687649969. Siyabuya. All right, disclaimer ke lesho ukuthi ke uhlelo lo lalungela abantwana. Well ke namhlanje kodwa sikhuluma kahle, ngathi sikhuluma indaba ezimnandi. Uhlelo asilungiseni Gloria Bosman bethi too much heaven. 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. Isikhathi sisho njalo kumhla ka-22 October 2023. Uhlelo ke no Queen Rejoice Konthapha Samboti, and namhlanje ke sinesihambeli sethu uGuru G, his holiness oqhamuka lapha ke kwi-ashram khona ke lapha Ramanu Reserve. Ngisho kahle ngithi I'm sorry, but I'd get there. Guys. Let's just engage. Yabona khona into abayiqalayo abazoyenza with this oneness movement, this program eqalo yena ukuruching. Sizoke sibe nesikhathi njengoba uthabe seshilo ukuthi ngazothi kunemniningwane ezophuma kuyohlangana laphana eDaykhona. Sizoke siyohlangana futhi nase Reserve Hills. The program will be announced. La sizofika khona and sikhulume lezinto now in a deeper level where you can Guruji, whenever that happened, is it allowed to raise a hand and ask questions, or depending on the program? Okay, I can hear you nodding. So I'd say yes, that'd be allowed. So if my program allow, now they're taking to action. We, including you, my listener, we have to come forward and avail ourselves and say, here we are. Yeah, but we do want this truth. It's yafuna nasokubuyela emuva ezimpandeni, know the true identity of ourselves. You understand? So I think that is so important. Now I'm going to your comments on WhatsApp, your VNs, Facebook page and 88.5 FM, Facebook group Asilungiseni, WhatsApp 068-764-9969. Where do I start?
Okay, nje Queen Rejoice selapho lento ifana nalento ikhwebelana kwamazwe.
Okay.
Ukuthi izwe thile njoba sekuqhamuka no BRICS manje isebela no Russia no India no China. Why ke thina sila ngaphakathi singafuni ukuthi ufunde kwezinye izizwe uhulumeni bekwenza. Ngoba phela kukhona into abayazi esingayazi. Nathi kufanele laba bazi ukuthi sithathe kubona. Okubalekile ukuthi lo sigcwalisa la emgodla wethu izinto eziwulwazi. Hayi nje ukuthi ngoba isystem ithi isakhela ukuthi vele sihlukane ngoba iyasaba ukuthi masike sahlangana sizongabe nesidingo salabantu abasincikiselelayo noma abasiphethe kangako ngoba sobe sesiyimele.
Right. Oh yeah, thank you. Angivela ngishona kona ama comments tab because your time now. Angibon, let's start here.
Sanibonani ninjani? Siyaphila long time kade yagcinana. uNkulunkulu spiritual, so I think uconnecta nabantu bakhe spiritual. I don't think ukuthi angaba yenyama. ngoba yena uqobo lakhe uspiritual naye wasenza ulibofuzo lakhe ngokuba spiritual. Iswebha ngicabanga ukuthi mina lokhu okungonembeza what iswe erigayida yena qobo lakhe la usuyikhuza usicha lokhu kurong la usukwazi ukuqondisisa okuhle nokundeni ke mase khulunyelwa ke ngokwamazwi akhe ke kuba ukuya ngokuthi ukhuthaleleni same thing nalokho kokuzalo umzalo ukuthi ne-imfundiso umzalo uyasithatha yini ucha. I think ukuthi nala kuhamba kanjalo not ukuthi yena ucashile qobo lwakhe ukuthi akafuni ukusibona ukhona but yengoba sikhande ngoku-spiritual.
Okay, Guruji, now the listener is talking about the conscience. He believes that Supreme Lord, Thabo, please correct me if I'm wrong, is residing or is within your conscience to guide you and your ways. Would you agree to the listener with that?
Okay, I stated that the Supreme Lord lives within the soul,
yes.
And the soul is the composition of consciousness.
Yes. Oh,
it's the same. The problem with this caller, because the caller is disputing what you were saying, but he's repeating the very same thing
that
you
the Guru is saying.
So now, angmazi mayethi akakwazi ngekaphi ubani othe uyinyama.
All right.
Akekho umuntu okewathi uyinyama.
All right, because it's saying the same thing.
Manje mhlambe ngimphindele kodwa ubani lo mfowethu lo? Kuhlezi engathi awuzwanga kahle ngoba akekho ke wathi uNkulunkulu uyinyama. Iguru nje ithi iqala. Yayisho lento oyishoyo futhi wena othi wena ucabanga ukuthi kodwa manje uyiyona eqale ngayo nje leyo kade iqala.
All right. Thank you with the true information. Salam, Guru. What does salam mean?
That is Islam.
What is
Islamic greeting.
Oh, you see, I think same as me. Okay, it's Arab. So now we say namaste. All right.
Ngibingelele e-studio. Ngibingelele bawuthawu Sambothi. Ngibingelele uQueen Rejoice uMabathu. Ngibingelele nesihambeli sethu uGuruji. Hey, nazi nakhuluma ngesihloko esibalekile ngoba uGuruji nje okwathinta i-self realization. Kahle uma ungasokwazi ukuthi uzithole wena ukuthi ungubani, ungakwazi ukuthi empilweni uyiphathe ngobnono nangobuchule. Ngoba uma ngithatha ngibheka according to Maslow hierarchy of needs, udinga ube ne-self actualization, ube ne-esteem, ube ne-belongingness and love, uphinde ube ne-safety, protection and security. Uzovala ngani nge-physiological. Ngoba kuthiwa according to Maslow hierarchy of needs, munye kuphela umuntu owakwazi ukuthi achieve i-self actualization, lo kwaba uMahatma Gandhi. Uma nje ngase ngibalule izibonelo self actualization, ilapho urealize ama dreams akho and being true to yourself, uphinde achieve inner peace yakho. Kuphinde kube khona nezigaba ke ezintathu zayi self realization engabala khona lapho uthi realizing oneself as the soul, realizing oneself as Satchitananda. When I'm talking about Satchitananda, ngikhuluma ngokuthi uset usukusho existence of truth, kanti cheat expression and knowledge of it, kanti ananda wona uchaza the bliss you get out of it. Kuphinde futhi ke kuwona ama stages ayi self realization ngiqhubeke kube khona omnipresent consciousness and realizing oneself as the source. Kuphinde futhi kube i-sustainer of that omnipresent consciousness. Kuphinde kube khona futhi nama parts ayo i-self realization okuyi part of knowledge, The part of inner transformation, the part of selfless action, and the part of devotion. Ngicabanga sigonke lo mase sikwazi ukuthi sikubeke kusebenzele singaqhubeka nempilo enhle njengoba kwachaza noGuruji. Ngibonge e-studio usandelo wakho uzwayo endaweni yasemanzi Mtoti. Ngiqhubeka njalo nohlelo lethu olusakhayo luzibusayo. Nihambeli zethu esisakhaya ngomqondo. Ngithi phambili nginanda FM ngithi phambili.
Phambili ngawe Khuzwayo. Thank you so much Sandile Khuzwayo. You've mentioned and stated very valuable points. Thank you so much for that. Thabo, I don't know if you have anything to add to what Sandile Khuzwayo said.
No.
Yeah.
Ngaqhubeka.
Okay. Thank you so much Guruji for that. You know, yabona manje. I think we have Thabo, this oneness movement, it's going places, I can see. Greetings in the studio. Guru is reminding us about our originality, spiritual, in brackets. In Africa, to manipulate us, they used the religion, psychology, and psychiatrists that resulted to be inferior and consumed by demonic circuit, in bracket, hating each other's, drunkards, thieves, and other irrational behavior. In that sense, we need to resurrect from death. That is not knowing ourselves. We need to know that we existed before, but we must create good things and knowing how powerful we are. We are unbeatable and unshakable. Let us plan the good or plant. I think the T is missing there. Let us plant the good seed for the future generations. Siyabonga. Thank you so much. All right, let me, where am I? Aslung Seni. Good evening, all there at your studio. I wish to ask from the Guru Uguti, if you are humble and welcoming mostly everyone, regardless of their behavior, does that cannot cause your spiritual problems? Taking from bad spirits are easily engaged itself into pure and Holy Spirit. Thank you. That is S. Dlamini Clement. Accommodating everyone, good or bad. Does that affect you, your righteousness?
Yes, it does. So this is why I said in Kali Yuga, both the divine and the demonic live in one person. So your engagement with the amount of demonic people would increase the negativity in you.
Okay.
And your engagement with the amount of divine people will increase the divinity in you.
Okay.
So there is an old saying, if you sleep next to a dog that have fleas, you're going to get?
Fleas.
So it would be, my advice to her would be to pick and choose.
Okay.
Humility does not mean sacrifice your life.
Humanity does not mean...
Humility. She said she is a humble person.
Humble person and accommodates everyone. Humbleness, you have to...
But self-preservation is more important.
Okay.
And she need to pick and choose who can evolve her.
Oh, wow.
Not who can diminish her.
I understand. So that I think... that also goes to choosing what you're listening to, as much as there's media, there's TV, there's radio, there's social media, and there are all sort of other things, demonic, spiritual, movies, can also that affect the
impelling of your mental status.
So still you have to choose what you're listening to,
choose.
What are you watching, who are you listening to, type of music that you listen.
What you eating, what you drinking.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Guys, akube niyezwa. Baba Mfukeng. Singangawo.
Umuntu akanibingelele e-studio jena. Bingelele kuwena ke Queen Rejoice Mabathu wenanda FM. Phinde kusiza kuwena ke Thabo kanye ke nesivakashi sethu nje lapho osifundisayo nje ngobuNkulunkulu. Ngithi mina ke ngibuza ke ngisemhlabeni waseTonuti njengomfukeng ngikule ndaba le yokudla inyama ukuthi amarasta wona njengabantu abathi abayidla inyama ukuthi mhlambe bazofinyelela yini bona kule minyaka le mhlambe kubaba ayishoyo umbuzo ke lokho engiwubuza bese ngizobonga kakhulu ke kulokho ukuthi ke lento ke ukuzivula amehlo enqondo nje mhlambe kuza understand ke nje I just want to thank that for opening our mind ears or a spiritual ears ukuthi so that we understand ourselves and go back to our cultures because we can find the truth yilokho ngikubonga kakhulu kulokuthi asivule lo mqondo nje lo because kahlehle iproblem ilele lapho kuthina abantu abamnyama siblinywaze emqondweni blindfolded nje kakhulu ukuthi singam understand nje uNkulunkulu ophila ngaphakathi kithi siyabonga sihlezi sinani ke all the times ke asithathe esikuthathayo kubaba osingaku understand sikubeke eceleni lokho akushoyo njengoba echazile ukuthi ke phela ezinye izinto uzoyibeka ngendlela yosiko lakhe so asikuthathe thina lokho esikuthatha ukubona ukuthi kuyoshintsha ingqondo zethu sikufake kwi-platform right sikiyeke okunye nokunye njengabalaleli ke nje be Inanda FM asilungiseni. God bless everyone as sobonana ngelizayo.
Thank you so much Babu Mfukeng and that. All right, okay. I want to greet you all in studio. My concern is, and the statement says the Supreme Lord is within us. If so, meaning even the colonizers came to rob us, to kill us, to disturb us and take all what was belonged to us. But God was just watching all that action? ? I'm saying this because you have said everything that is happening among us, it's a God's plan. As we speak, we are dying because a poison that they put in the we used to eat every day. But the Supreme Lord is within us. Lastly, who must control everything in the planet is not the Lord. If so, then what is the good reason to let other human beings to abuse and kill other human beings? Does it mean he created something that he couldn't control from somewhere in Maut? After all, okay, where can I get the book? Talks about this information. What's the name of the book? Or I can only get this wonderful information from the guru. Okay. I tried to read it slowly. Did you hear the question there?
Yes.
Everything else is happening. The Supreme Lord is in control. Did he created, which I can say the demons or the demonic spirit, since you know the world is, there's negative, there's positive. They destroy us, now the food that we eat, everything else. Why can't he just take that away and then we can...
Okay, all right. Very good question. I think many people will be relieved. This question would be on most minds. It was on my mind. I was an atheist for 30 years. This type of questions make you an atheist when you cannot come to terms with reality when you look all around.
You're coming from there?
I'm coming. 30 years I was an atheist.
Oh, okay.
All right? Because I had this question.
Yes.
So I always qualify. Whilst I was an atheist, I was still a humanitarian.
Yes.
I had a problem with God and the workings of the universe and not with humanity. All right? So the answers that are found is in the Vedas. And let's be practical for the context of this question. I said Lord Shri Krishna left his mortal coil and went back to Vaikunth 5,000 years ago. India was the most flourishing continent in the world at that point in time. The best of the best temples were in India. Then came the Islamic, the Mughals, and they destroyed all or 80% of the temples. They raped Sanatan Dharmis and they tortured, they slaughtered Sanatan Dharmis, the followers of Lord Krishna.
Yeah.
Another 1,000 years had to elapse before India has now got its dignity. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. Now, to answer this scientifically, this universe is created cyclically every 311 trillion years, 40 billion years, the Supreme Lord creates. The fuel for creation is karma.
Oh, okay.
These material universes are only created to redeem your karma. Once you redeem your karma, you go back to the spiritual world of the Supreme Lord. So the soul is eternal. The body is temporary. Soul eternal, body temporary. So if your mom puts you in a robo, or your dad puts you in a robotic body, and for reasons best known to him, he or she allows your robotic body to be destroyed. Is there any cruelty on his part?
No, because the soul is...
So you are still alive, nothing happened to you, you're just going to change clothes.
Oh, okay. Because the soul is still intact, it's just this body.
Yes, for better clarification, I'm saying your body as it is, Queen, if you wear a robotic body on it, and if that robotic body is damaged permanently, taken out of you, your mom and dad not going to shed a tear because Queen is
it's still there.
Still there until you get the next robotic body. So your robotic bodies depend on your karma.
Okay, all right.
Another thing too, the Almighty gave us free will. You choose which side you want to go on. Like we're sitting here, the Guru is talking. You choose whether you're going to
listen or not. You choose whether to do good or to do bad.
You want to do good or to do bad is up to you.
The power of will.
Yeah.
It's up to us.
Death is not a cruelty. It is just a change of your clothes.
Oh, okay. I understand. And now where can I get the book that talks about all this information? What's the name of the book?
It's called the Bhagavad Gita.
The Gita.
Bhagavad.
The Bhagavad
Gita.
Oh, okay. I hope upendulekile lapho sangweni emawodi about the book. Thank you so much there for nombuzo loyo. Greetings to you, Guruji. All right? Okay.
Engakusho kusangena kusizisangweni ukuthola incwadi.
Okay.
Nje. Igija sengibe nayo iminyaka.
You understand.
Dingabantu abanjengoguru kanje engizohlala nabo bangifundise lezi zinto ngi-understand. Uma uthi uzofunda incwadi nje, igija is not just any book. What I'm trying to explain, if the listener says he'll buy the Gita and he'll understand everything. No. You need a guru or somebody to guide you through the way and just getting the Gita.
All right. Okay, thank you. Greetings to you, Guruji, Your Holiness, Mabato and Babsamboti. The divinity and peace of God be with you all. There's a book I'm reading called The Science of Self-Realization. It took me on another dimension just on chapter 1. You are confirming almost all that I've read. I thank you for a very informative show. I learned a every day in the Inanda Aslungsen University College. You are my professors. May God Almighty reign now till eternity. Safe travels back to your family after the show. Thank you so much, listener. Okay, so now this is another book that our listener is I found out the science of self-realization. It's confirming everything Guruji that you've just taught us today. Yay! Inanda Aslungsen University College. Did you hear that? Hey, Tamo, I'm telling you. All right, I'm going to put on WhatsApp. 0687649969 Facebook page Nanda 8.4 FM group. It's just Lungseni. Okay, I try to push. It's refreshing. Okay, now there we go. Yeah, quickly.
It's refreshing. I had a listener.
Sure.
Because he's at work now, he sent those questions about holy ash and all that. He wanted to know about holy ash. What is holy ash? I don't know about holy ash.
Everybody's using it now.
Yeah, because he also, I hear people are buying all these holy ashes and all this. You find in supermarkets, in wholesalers in town, pink, blue, green, yellow salts and all that. He wanted to know about that. And secondly, about holy ash, he wanted to know where does that ash come from? Is it trees? Some say, when people start talking, say, no, this ash comes from cremated bodies. So now he wanted to know, what is this holy ash?
Nothing to do on my spiritual side.
You see now.
It has no source spiritually.
That's a good one, straight to the point.
Thank you.
Another one was, what did he ask? What happened to these questions now?
Ubuze about the Ngai Holy Ash, wabuza about Abasawoti, and then he also asked about
the lingam.
Was it yes.
Yeah, you covered that one in our first.
Yeah, that's
in the first days. All right, so I think I'll pull it up.
And there was something else. Okay.
Let me continue because now thank you so much for being part of the show. It's interesting because I was reading about Yuga's 2 weeks ago. Oh, now Guru is here and confirming. Even captured some. Oh, I can't see it properly. Oh, all right. Oh, this is such a long reading there, but thank you so much. Anyway, he is just confirming what the Guru just said, His Holiness, right now, and then it's just a piece of his readings there. Thank you so much, Kota Gontlantla, for sharing. Ne, Tlantla Kiritino Ndlanzi. For Fisugumtola now, you can follow him lapana on the Aslungseni group. He's there, yes. And thank you so much. The pics and the quotes, our Sherile, very powerful. Thank you. Tandom Tolo ngiyabingelela estudio sibonga ngolwazi nangesimfundiso. Umuntu ukhula every time. I'm glad ngayeka ukudla inyama. Hayibo ngiphakathi inside ikhona. Excuse me spelling Nkosi sigcinele nina baphathi. Much love. Thank you so much Thando. Ngiyakubongela kakhulu for ukuyeka inyama mfethu. Angazi ngenza njani. I think I have to get what is that we ate last week? Thabo. Because I think it's going to help me as well.
Fake meat.
That soya. Yeah. That was very nice. Umthozisi ngubane athi ngicela ukubuza kunenkinga yini ukunilalela on. Oh, okay. Right, hope that ukuthi usitholile Mthokozisi athi lawo andile Chonco please. All right guys, sorry about live so ibamba nje ku Facebook okamanje Masiya siyasithuli bengicela nike nixwayisa abantu ngezinto ezinobusathane. I think that's exactly what we did namhlanje in studio. Athi John Mahamosta ngikhona ngilele. Thank you so much Sandile Colin ngibingelele studio nomuntu uyafunda kancane koze kulunga. Sibonga ngohlelo lomnandi sithenene umuntu ufunda zafe siyabonga ngezimfundiso. Kanyiso Charlie, hello everyone, it's good to have Guru again. Thanks God created the universe so no one can make anything and don't experience it. So he created human beings so that he can experience the universe through us us, but he gives us the willpower so that we can't be like a robot. But our karma came to ukusiqondisa ngoswazi what we have done. That is Incarnations. Rock kind. The what? The lyricist. I hope ngikufunda kahle mfethu. Rock Opalu Kind, KYND.
Hey.
I salute you all in the studio, including the Guru. I have one question. The epic of Gilgamesh creation story and us being created. The Ganesh. Okay. Okay. And creation story, where's that? And us being created to serve Enlil or the gods. Where does it fit in Yuga ages? I think where does it fit kule Kali Yuga? Thanks.
No. What he's talking about is something Yama Sumerians. It has nothing to do my Hindu.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
He's talking about the story of the Sumerians. So you can't fit it with the into the Hindu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay.
It's like trying to fit something. Yes, like Kemetism and Hinduism, and you ask where does this fit? No, it could be the same story, but in Egypt it was told like this. In Sumeria it was told like this. In Greece it was told like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
okay.
That's what happens.
All right. Okay. Tolo, if we all had an awareness and understanding that God resides deep within ourselves, I'm sure ngabe sonke sisiphatha ngendlela ehlukile nesizotha ngoba singabe siqonda singobani. Kingdom obakhe. I don't know ukuthi you ever heard about David Icke or teaching
David
before.
Icke.
David Icke's teachings. Oh. I have heard about David Icke's teachings before the Guruji. Teachings are the same teachings. Wow. Siyabonga kakhulu lapha studio. Namaste. Thank you so much. Well, most of the comments, Guruji, are just saying thank you. If I can just summarize in one word. That's very, very, very informative information. And then we also have some confirmations to other listeners to what they've read, what they've learned somewhere in other sources, which confirms everything that you've said tonight here in studio. All right, there's still other comments that I haven't touched on, but I'm coming by Fetungeza. Let me just also Gisela. All right, it's also refreshing. There we go.
Sanbanani Studio. I just want to understand from you, Comrade Guru, the issue of fasting. Which part of the body does fasting affect? Because you have just mentioned that our body is in layers. The soul, the flesh, whatever. Now, some scriptures are saying that fasting actually helps you to come closer to the area of God. In other words, if you fast, your prayers are answered quickly because you move towards the area of God or to the level where God is, or your prayers are heard most quickly and the answers, you can expect the answers more quicker. This comes from the theory, whatever is theory or practical, that people like Moses went to the mountain and fast, and Jesus for 40 years or so, and they were closer to God. Now, I want to know which level, which layer of the body, soul or flesh or what does fasting have effect on? That could be the first question. The second question is the question of karma or predestined future, that you are born with everything you're going to do in this world. For example, you are born and you grow up and you become a criminal and you are arrested, you serve prison sentence. All that, they say you are saving the previous life of your karma, that you did something wrong, so you are paying off your karma. But some people I don't agree with that, because they say God can't bring you in this world to suffer. If you suffer, do the wrong things, it's because of your behavior, your environment and all those things. So I want you to clarify that. This thing of saving a karma, that people become criminals because they are saving the karma of their previous world. They lived before and then they are serving the karma. Can you just explain that, please? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my friend. I think two important questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, in this modern age, we all have cars.
Mm-hmm.
And as we drive our cars, we need to take it timeously for a service.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what fasting is.
Okay.
When you fast, you allow your organs
Mm-hmm.
time, because they work continuously. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But your stomach is working continuously,
Mm-hmm.
and hunger is not part of your stomach. Hunger comes from your cells.
Okay.
They inform your stomach that they need to be replenished.
Mm-hmm.
So the stomach is just an organ that breaks down food and sends it to the cells.
Oh, okay.
So we need to keep this stomach clean timeously. We need to service it so that the right ingredients go to the cells timeously.
Okay.
So fasting is simply scientific.
Mm-hmm.
It is to service your body, and that is all fasting is about.
What about the connection with the Lord?
Well,
From Lord?
I won't be able to answer. Just take the scientific reason for now. When I come back,
yes.
it's going to. I won't be able to finish on time.
Okay.
All right. And his next question.
Yes.
Question
About-
number 2.
About the karma. That,
About the karma. So it's easily understood that one set of parents will give birth to 2 children or 3 children. One will be a doctor, one will be a lawyer, one will be a criminal. And only if you understand the law of karma, that would be possible from one set of parents.
Okay. No, I get you. But I hope that the listener is also answered there. Skomboza skills ngubane. Is it possible that we are just imbalanced because of diets, etc.? Hence, at this age is like it is. You've mentioned, if you can just elaborate, that is it the reason why we're imbalanced daily. How is our diets impact that? It's like you said, the answer is in the question.
Yes. So,
Yes.
so if you have a vegetarian diet, you will outlive those that having a meat diet, and I'm talking about today, because today there are so many diseases in meat, and when you consume meat, you consume its disease as well. And when you eat vegetables, there are no diseases in vegetables.
Okay. No, thank you. Makeba. Makeba Kebo. Okay, thank you so much for being part of the show, Makeba. Yeah, let me continue here. I wish it wasn't so refreshing this much. Okay, yeah. Thokozile Shamase, although I do not personally believe in the last days, something in me says the world without an end. The negativity will be massively put aside / self-destruct, and the few will continue living. And abantu abamesaba uJehova baqhubeke nempilo. Know that it sounds scientific, but the world was created by the best ever Alchem. Am I pronouncing this word correctly? It's ALCHEM. Okay, that's omnipresence, uJehova amabandla kodwa ngingomncinyane. All right, Thokozile, I can just say thank you so much for a comment, because it's just commenting.
And I can hear she's taking it from a Christian perspective.
Yes,
That the world will end, and Lord Jesus will come with a flying in the sky with a horse, and a sword to come and collect. I want all that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking when we talk about the end of days in we're talking about the end of the season or the age. Like the Guru explained, that it goes around.
All right.
Starts all over, then it goes. These 4 seasons.
All right, it was Fina Mpungose Mfolozane, President Slalele from which was Fina Rapani Mpungose, Obuga Mfolozane Skodi. Asizwe Samakati Ngobo Molweni Sinanje, Askomboza Skills Ngubane. What about those who are being human only to reap the benefits of its good karma in brackets, but deep within their vile in all aspects? Okay, am I understanding this question? Can you help Tabo? What about those who are being human only to reap the benefits of its, only to reap the good karma, but deep inside, they're vile or they're poisonous?
You got it, Guru.
Yeah, so that is what we said at inception. In Kali Yuga, both the demonic and the divine lives in one person.
Yeah.
But karma is not determined by the person itself. Karma is determined by God. That is why God lives inside the soul. So if you pretend to be righteous so that you can earn good karma, you're fooling yourself, because the spreadsheet of your karma is written by the Supreme Lord himself whilst residing in your soul.
Thank you. Intombi yase kutumeni no mama skakabi khona ku DSTV okwamanje that's all engakusho. Okay, if it's refreshing I feel like okay, but kodwa ke ngiyazama guys ukun attenda like almost nonke kulesikhatha manje sikhona kohlelo nasilungiseni sinayekela ukuthi His Holiness Acharya Shaim Ramanuj. Did I pronounce that correctly now?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kingdom Mobile. I don't know what you ever had. Oh, okay. Haibo. Gitwalile nje. When I imagine I'm mixing manje. Bongisisa Morris Matota. Bantu bagababa nginani Thando Mtolo. I love what Guru just said. People who can break these divisions are religious leaders, and they are so not ready to do that because they are benefiting from preaching lies. And then okay. I'm trying to get my comments. Okay. Tabo, I'm trying to. All right. Let me just stop right there. It's 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Tabo, if you can allow, there are some comments that I haven't came to, but now still I can't get to them. And it's Siabalek. So just to summarize, in the if ever, and you are told I'm commenting, because we still have like few minutes before we go. I'm finding problem. Great lab. No, great. So great. Okay. Is it long?
It's not long. Ngifuna ukuthi Nancy has and remind.
It's coming to which number?
Studio number 06.
Okay, 06 ban. Okay, sure. All right. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Asevulekile. Now I have them. I'll go to you. Ayandandaba. Ayandandaba. Amen. Oh. The wars are going on all over the world are all spiritual because as Guru says, Uguti, it's about humanity. Ngoba we are all human before we are anything else. So the ones that chooses to be from king to subject. As Kombozo Kamse, thank you so much. Ayandandaba, connecting the dots. Molweni, Tozile Shamase. Amen to one God, one love, one humanity, Ubuntu, in spite of different geographic and alignment. To the all, much love. Thank you so much there, Tozile Smilan. All right, so let me go to this VNs right now. Okay, Yole?
Yeah.
Oh, please, Pratabo. ngicela ubuze lana about i-tantra nama-agoris ukuthi is it a form of Hinduism, and what is it about tantra nama-agoris nokuthi do they have abantu abathwalisayo, and can you explain that to us? Is there a darker side to Hinduism? Because ngalana esitwini kunomuntu ofika ithakathele bese kuthiwa isangoma noma kuthiwa inyanga, umthakathi nje umthakathi, umkhunkulu nje umkhunkulu. So banabo yini abakhunkulu, and how do they differentiate between umkhunkuli nomuntu osontisayo, or is it the same? It's just a darker side of Hinduism. We'd like to know more about tantra, positive tantra, negative tantra, if there is such a thing, and the ama-agoris, especially ama-agoris.
You got that?
Unfortunately, I'll have to do this on another show.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'm going to give the wrong impression if I rush through it.
Okay. It doesn't need to be rushed.
This is right.
I'm interested. Wow.
I said, I can't understand this. Maybe the guru will understand it.
It's need a specific show, not on this one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mzamo, for that question. What I like is that we keep on having more and more things that are left behind that we still in our next visit with the Guru Thabo, please let us take notes on that one, because it seems like we still have other parts or other shows,
and we
topics.
Umzamo today, Umzamo, because he has a bit of info about let's say Hinduism, so he could come up with the relevant questions.
Thank you so much, Mzamo, for that. Thank you so much. Skywalker, let me see if I can get you in this 1 minute that we are left. Ngicela ukubuza ukuthi negative and positive kumuntu konke yini umvelinqangi ophakathi. The Guru did talk about this on the last show. The yin and yang, positive, negative.
Yeah.
So I'd say yes, Skywalker. Just to summarize on that. Kunjalo nje. Igole age. Kona kokubili. Yona later, which I can say balance. Okay? Kusho kahle. Siyafunda sonke on the show. Thank you so much, Mlaleli, for being part of the show. Thanks once again. Thank you so much, Your Highness, His Holiness, the Guruji, Ebegatedati, Namhlanje in studio again, and can't wait to be part of for you to be part of the show on the next show. I'm not sure when. Thabo will tell us.
And thank you to the whole team.
Thank you to the whole team. Thank you so much. And once again, please do invite me whenever you're having another party.
We will.
For the soya, yes. Please do. So cool. Now, there are other listeners that were interested to come to the ashram. I'm not sure if we can share the details. If ever there's someone out there who say that I wish to be part, where to go, the times of the teachings, the days, and stuff like that, because they ask.
We'll also share maybe the videos from and photos from their page onto our page.
All right.
So they can also just go straight to the.
You can just share the link share from the post to Aslung Seni page.
Yeah.
So it's going to be much easier. All right.
Queen, can I give my last message?
Yes, of course you can.
I think Africa is ready for a spiritual awakening. And when Africa awakes spiritually, we will be the most prosperous and spiritually embossed society in the world. We will be number one in economy, in every aspect of human life. We will be number one. So we are planting the seed of the revolution in my previous show today, and I'm sure you have other people as well that come on to plant the seeds of revolution, spiritual revolution. Let your listeners take our hand and work hand in hand and spread this news, starting from South Africa and then claiming our continent back.
thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Now imangabe yazibuza ukuthi zifuna ukuya lapha ku Astram siyapi senza njani 28 Damstable Avenue, am I reading correctly?
Crescent.
Okay, let me just on the mic. Please do.
28 Dunstable Crescent, Reservoir Hills.
Oh, Lanje duze. The service is on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. every Sunday, that is. And the Facebook page and the post Thabo will share on Aslungseni, so that it's going to be easy for you. 10:30 Sunday, 28 at Damstable Crescent, Reservoir Hills. Thank you. Siyabonga ke Stimela African Changes bafethu ngicabanga ukuthi sifunde konke, and that is the true. Yazi once wasithola ukuthi ngubani nawe uyazi ukuthi why umcindezeli wafika washintsha identity okushintsha negama.
Kusasa quarter to 2011 nominated show usibambe lapho sikhuluma ama-actives nazo Sambuthi uyabonga umdali mayivumile sophinde sihlangane.
Thank you so much. Until next week ngesikhathi esifanayo uyathi uThabo uDabu umdali mevumile. Bye bye, phela busuku obuhle.